Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a single storyline. So these are the ones where we assume our lead character is single and we see what comes out in this. I try to always put these out on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays in case you are wondering what the schedule is for the single story. Now, I like to do kind of the same inspiration for this backdrop that I'm doing for all the zodiacs right now. Speaking of tonight, I'll be putting out a bunch more zodiacs. But the backdrop is obviously some lovely watercolor lilies. And with that in mind, when you paint with watercolor, you know, the blank space is every bit as important as what you're actually trying to paint. So with that in mind, if we're thinking about something being every bit as important, the space that's unoccupied is as important as what is colored in. To me, that translates to meaning, okay, so it's not always what we do see, it's also what we don't see or what we're unaware of that is every bit as important. So it's like trying to understand somebody's motive for an action that they took is perhaps more important than what they actually did. Let's put it in that context. So let's tell a story where for our single character, does that have any bearing here? Is there something that they don't see that's really important? We have a 3 of Cups in the reverse. Our character could be either contemplating, why don't I talk to someone anymore? And they themselves could be the one who's saying, I'm evaluating the real reason. Why are they not in my life? That's probably a really great thing to contemplate. Why am I not talking to this person? Why are they not in my life? Because sometimes we can evaluate that and say, I don't know, we had a petty argument, or I just didn't reach out to him recently. We have Strength cards sideways. We have 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. But other times, the real reason someone's not in our life is because I think our character is saying someone's not courageous enough to step into my world. Maybe they don't really want to develop a connection. Maybe they feel a little bit intimidated by me. I didn't do anything to make them feel that way, but it doesn't mean that they don't feel that way. You know, recognizing that if someone doesn't want to put effort in to either work on themselves or work on the connection and they stay gone, I think our character is saying, but really, the real reason that they're staying gone is there's some kind of fear involved in all of this. Now, I mean, maybe we could say, wow, our character sure won't accept the other idea that maybe this person doesn't like me. No, I don't get that from this. And the reason I'm saying that is because this character is not saying, oh, they're just intimidated by me. That's why they don't want to be around. They're leaving. They're contemplating this. That's why the Strength card is sideways. This character is now somebody who jumps to conclusions and is like, they strut their stuff all the time. And they're like, I'm so awesome. I know I just scare people because I'm just too rad. You know, that's this person. I don't see our lead character here as having some massive chip on their shoulder about how awesome they are and how everybody's always scared of them and their awesomeness. I think they don't seem like an insufferable like egomaniac to me, okay? Simply because they're not saying that that's really why, but they're contemplating it. Someone didn't want to put an effort with me. I wonder what they're scared of. Or I wonder if fear factored in. Or I wonder why they didn't want to take any leadership on this, or why they didn't have the courage to move it forward with me. I don't know if this is about romance. This could have been about anything. Sometimes people want to be friends, but they are like, I don't feel like my life is, you know, as successful as yours. So maybe I don't have the money to keep up with your jet setter lifestyle. And I don't know how to admit that. You know, there's a lot of reasons for people to not be around a character, even if they care about that person and they like that person. And I just feel like our single individual is contemplating one specific relationship in their life. And they're saying, why is that person really not in my life? Why am I not connecting with them? Because they chose not to invest the effort. But why did they choose not to invest the effort? I'm thinking about it and I'm wondering, was there a fear factor involved? What were they scared of if that's a truce? Maybe they need to call a truce. Truth is the word I was looking for, but my lips aren't so graceful today. We've got the Ace of Swords. I would argue that our lead character, by the way, they could be a very logical thinker. They could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Does not have to be, but they are someone who looks for the truth. like I said, I didn't think that our lead character was some, egomaniac. I feel like they are somebody who really tries to understand the actions of others. And this card even says, I possess clarity and truth and make decisions with a sharp mind. I really feel like our character is trying to like imagine walking in that other person's shoes. Like, what would I do if I were them? If I behave this way sometimes, what's at the root of it? We all avoid things sometimes that we either don't want or we don't feel confident enough to pursue. And this can be simple things. I mean, heck, I have been at, in my 40s, I'm 42 years old. And there are certain things where I'm like, oh gosh, I'm dreading like calling to get this person to, hire them to do this job, because it's really like, it's not super fun to have to get lots of bids on stuff and then say yes to this person, no to this worker, and try to figure out, who can do this construction project. Things like that in my own life have been like, oh, I hate to have to do it. I don't feel comfortable. It's a lot to explain, especially when I'm out of my depth and I'm trying to say, well, I need somebody to do this with this big piece of equipment that I don't know how to run. And I'm not sure I'm great at explaining this. And, it's, you can be, or at least I'm an introvert. So I'm actually a very shy person. So I can understand how that fear factor could be something that our lead character is contemplating. And they might be contemplating it from the same kind of perspective that I was just describing about myself. I have my own insecurities, my own fears. Can I suck it up and do it? Yeah. But will I procrastinate sometimes because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this? Yes, of course. And what's the root cause of it? Because I'm shy. That's the root cause. There isn't another reason. I'm a deeply shy person. I've spent a lifetime trying to get beyond it, and I'm not there. I never will be, but I can function. But this is like, I think that our lead character is able to contemplate someone else's lack of presence in their life, and they're just asking themselves, why is somebody really not here right now? I wonder if it's because there's a fear. Let me think about this a little deeper. It's really nice because our lead character is very, they're very capable of like letting other people have their own like grace, giving grace to someone and saying, I'm not sure I understand why somebody's not around. I'm not going to immediately, write their name in the category of people that are like, oh, this person's a jerk, or, oh, this person's a coward. Like, that's not how our character is approaching this thought process, which I think that our character is a very like benevolent and very kind and very mature individual, that they don't want to miscategorize, but they do want to understand why someone is not in their life right now. 7 of Wands, 10 of Wands. I feel like our character is going to come to a place where they say, well, I can only speculate. Maybe I can't find truth, but I can imagine walking in their shoes and imagine maybe some of the reasons why somebody behaved the way they did and why they're not really in my life and why they didn't put in any investment to connect with me. But the real truth still remains. Unless they tell me, I'll never get the full picture. So instead, that brings me to the conclusion that it's not my place to have that answer. If they don't want to communicate it to me, then all I can do is speculate, and I could be very wrong. So that right there tells me the only person who has the answer is the one person I'm not currently in communication with. Instead of me assuming they hate me, or assuming that they, are hiding terrible things from me, or assuming that they're running away because they're cowardly, why don't I just say, maybe it's not my place to know the answer unless they feel like entering my life and telling me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this just out of my thought processes. This is not a struggle for me to have to like solve the mystery. It's more like my role in this is to let it go, unburden myself, not make it feel like a reflection on me. They're not in my life because they don't like me. They're not in my life because they think I suck. They're not in my life because they don't want to be friends with me or they don't love me. Why would I do that to myself? They never said any of those things. They might have their own fears and their own reasons. So since it's their action, not mine, and since they haven't communicated further to me, then I don't have answers. So why don't I not make it be my problem? Whatever their reasons are, that's their issue, not mine. I continue on with my life and I unburden myself of all the worries about what did I do wrong? Why aren't they in my life? I mean, unless this character is like, oh my God, I know that I said something that ticked them off. I know that I must have hurt them. Maybe our character has already even reached out and said, hey, listen, I hope I didn't say anything offensive. I haven't heard from you in a while. And they still got no sound bite back, whatever this was. We didn't see that. We're just seeing for a character to be so contemplative about why is someone not in my life? Why is a specific person not a part of my world? My impression is this person probably cares a great deal about like not hurting others, but at the same time, they're mature enough to say, I know I didn't set out to hurt somebody's feelings. I wouldn't do that. And I also know that I can't let their lack of investment in me become something that hurts me, because I don't know where they're at. I don't know their true motive. So let me accept the fact that with all those blank spots in this story, I don't need to start filling in the chunks of the missing pieces and making assumptions about things that may be dead wrong, and then somehow turning on myself and feeling like crap and telling myself that I'm not worthy and that's why they're not around. I think that is probably the greatest message I have ever had come out in a storyline, because it seems so simple. Like, of course why would we assume it's our fault? I love that our character is able to say, why would I assume that it's my fault that I did something that was heinous and they hate me, or I'm not worthy? When did they say that? All it is they're not in my life. They're not making an investment. That's okay. They got other stuff going on, and I don't know what their other stuff is. They didn't tell me. So not my problem. It comes across as like this. I love that our character is refusing to take everything and dump it on their own shoulders. Even with the Seven of Wands, it says, I stand up for myself and defend my beliefs with confidence. And the Ten of Wands says, I manage responsibilities with grace and ease. And that is such a, to be able to say, that's a, what do they call it? An SEP, somebody else's problem, SEP. That being able to recognize if somebody didn't like me, that's also their problem, because I didn't do anything to make them dislike me with intent. But some people won't want to invest in me, and that's okay too. But I just like the fact that our character is letting this go. All right, so let's move on from that, because that was a pretty lengthy thought process to have played out, where our character, just to come to the conclusion that our character is really releasing this burden of why someone's not in their life, and knowing that it has nothing to do with me, and it's not an answer I'm going to get answered. Take the opportunity. It's time for them to turn their attention to some other thing in their life. This is like, now that they're no longer directing energy and thought processes. Man, I'm a ferocious shuffler. I must have ripped up one of these cards. It's a little corner edge of a card that just fell into my palm here. It's not off this one. Anyway, I'm wondering if, because this character is releasing the burden of trying to solve the mystery of why is somebody not communicating with me, why aren't they in my life, now that they've released that, think of all that newfound energy that's not being shunted toward worry. Now it can be shunted toward something much more exciting. I've got business to do. I've got an awesome day today. I've got plans for this fun thing I wanted to go do for myself. I wanted to go shopping. I wanted to go visit friends. I wanted to go do this, do that. Whatever it is, I've got my personal pursuits and things that I'm supposed to be growing and, pursuing. That's where I'm putting my energy, instead of spending my energy wondering, why did that person not want to work with me? Why was I rejected? Why was I rejected? They weren't rejected. They flat out weren't rejected. They don't know what happened with that other person, but they don't care anymore to invest in that, because taking their attention and moving it onto the things that they need to invest in their life is going to be so much more productive, so much more fun. And instantly there's a payoff. Instantly there's good vibes coming in for this character. Six of Coins. Why would I keep wondering and worrying about a person who's not in my life right now? Why don't I worry about those that are in my life, building connections with people that do want to do business with me, that do want to hang out with me, that are giving time. I want to go see my grandmother. I'm glad I get some time to go see my grandmother today and pet her adorable cat. That's a person who would love to see me in their life, and I care about them. Why don't I go spend time with the people that are wanting to have a reciprocal engagement with me? Why don't I go and, call up that friend and say, yeah, hey, I could totally come, work in your business this weekend for that whatever, the fair circuit that you're doing. And sure, I can come help you out. Like, I can give my energy to the people that I care about in my life. And there could be a great reciprocation of business as well as pleasure. But it's really awesome because our lead character is turning their attention away from a situation that didn't collaborate with them and shifting instantly to collaborating with those who either do want or need or just enjoy collaborating with our lead character. And that's why I said it's an instant payoff. Everybody gains something. People that want to work together, people that want to collaborate, everybody's going to walk away so jazzed and so happy. We got Hanged Man and we got the World. All of this progress, all of this moving toward lighter and brighter interactions with people, places, situations that give us something in return are going to serve a huge purpose. It's going to really help put things in a higher perspective for our lead character. They're going to start thinking, wait a minute. You notice how the Hanged Man is actually, she's being wrapped up in a serpent. It's like, wait a minute. Why was I ever worried about the one person in my life that didn't seem to want to invest in me, or the one career path where I didn't get a call back for that job or that interview? Who the heck cares? Look at all these other amazing people out here that I'm spending time with, other career opportunities, other clients or business prospects that are loving the work that I am, contracted to do, whatever this is, because this could be about somebody who's like a freelancer and they contract work out. They're getting great responses from the people that want their services. So who the hell cares about the one that didn't hire us? That shouldn't be like, oh my God, why? Was I not good enough? Did I not offer enough? Did they think I was overpriced? Did I not do enough? Who cares? All these other people want to work with us. All these other people are enjoying our character's energy. And that's finally shifting their perception where they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe this is my new attitude. Maybe I just continuously move toward the doors that open in my life instead of standing outside of doors that are closed and keep knocking, and then fretting and chewing my fingernails like, well, why isn't this door opening? Who cares? The world is full of doors. The world is full of amazing people, amazing opportunities. The less time we spend knocking on a door that's not open and instead going, no worries, I'll walk down the corridor and knock on this other door, see which one opens, and the next one and the next until one does open for me. Maybe that's how I'm going to live my life from now on. I'm always going to let go of the door that doesn't open and immediately move toward finding new doors. I feel like our character is going to have a much more productive life, a much more exciting life, a much more fulfilling life. And I think that their interactions with people are going to be, they're going to be surrounded by people that care about them, like them, appreciate them, value them, all because what they don't do is spend their precious energy focusing on the one that flat out doesn't like us, or the one that doesn't want to hire us, or the one that doesn't have money to hire us for the job, or the one that doesn't love us enough to, be able to be our committed partner. Whether this is romance or whether this is business is kind of irrelevant. It's the message that's a takeaway for me. And I think it's it feels like such a liberating thing to simply say, you're right. Why would I pay attention to the one door that never opened and give that all my attention and let that define my life and my worth? Why don't I always take it as a wonderful sign? Thank you, universe. I didn't get a call back on that one. That means there's all these other phone numbers to call, or there's all these other businesses to contact, or there's all these other people to date. Thank you for letting me know to scratch that other one off my list because I didn't hear back, at least not now. Maybe someday they'll call. Doesn't matter. I'm not wasting time on it. There's too many other amazing potentials out there. So it's a very positive mindset. And that's how this character is now going to be living their life because they've turned their mindset around on this. We got some strong Capricorn. We also have some strong Pisces in this one. I don't know. I really liked this. I liked the, and we had Leo too. I really liked the fact that our character didn't let something define them anymore, nor did they spend any of their precious time trying to sleuth out and get in the head of somebody else and become like a criminal profiler to try to figure out why did someone do the things they did. I like that our character's like, I'm just going to give it a shrug and keep moving. It's really nice to have that much of a relaxed attitude on something that quote unquote was it possibly a disappointment or a rejection. I love that that's not how this is viewed. So I'll leave this here. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.